Hi, hi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
afternoon. Okay, it's my voice clear, Tim, before I start.
I can hear you well. I can hear you well.
Okay, I can hear you too. And yeah, we are going to have Web3 Wizards episode 11 today. We're going to talk about the blockchain singularity and the ICP growth. And I'm back. I'm using a CryptoX account to be as the host. So we have this Web3 Wizard in the 11th episode with the team. So, Tim, can you introduce yourself first before we're going to start the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. So myself, I got first into crypto back in 2017. Since then, I've been working in with crypto growth, crypto marketing for a little bit more than 100 projects in total. And then and then in different, like as an advisor and different parts. And right now, I am the hub lead for ICP in Portugal. So right now we are working with ICP to continue to grow the ecosystem and bring it all together. So yeah, I've been in crypto
Yeah,
for a long time.
yeah. So you're in the crypto space for the long run, and I want to know your story, Tim. I know you in the crypto is beginning. You love and learn about the Bitcoin, but I want to know your story. How you interested on the ICP? What makes you love the ICP?
So first of all, I remember when I first moved to Lisbon about 5 years ago. I had a friend that had been in the first ICP airdrop, and I remember how much he talked about that it was kind of new tech if you compare it to Bitcoin and Ethereum, and how it was building like a full new tech stack that was Web3 native and that was built for it. So I remember back then when it was very hyped up and at the top of the market. I think it had a market cap of 50 billion and was like number 3. And then afterwards, it of course had a rough time in the bear market. So I remember first early on there that I liked the idea of fully building the Web3 tech stack on in a decentralized way instead of like most other projects are running on Amazon or more centralized servers. So I remember early on that I liked the idea of having a Web3 native protocol to run it.
So that's the story you love and you interested to the ICP. And right now you lead in the ICP Hub on Portugal, right?
Correct,
And
correct.
can you share a story how the ICP Hub on Portugal born and why you think that ICP can be popular on the Portugal?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what what happened in the bear market is a lot of projects and especially ICP saw that. So how can we drive adoption? And I think what ICP did and what a lot of products understood was that you need to launch local initiatives in key regions. So over the last year, then ICP has launched various hubs in Dubai, in Asia, in Europe, a little bit all over the world, which are like local initiatives that are supported by the ecosystem. And why here in Portugal is in Europe, there's a few different tech cities that are leading in the space. And one of the leading ones is definitely Lisbon and Portugal as a whole. Then probably before that might be London, Paris, but Lisbon is definitely one of the top cities in Europe. And what you have seen here is that a lot of the other big protocols, Solana held their last year's breakpoint here. Near is this week actually having a NearCon. So it's definitely one of the cities in Europe with the most tech growth happening. Developers, a lot of people know Lisbon for good weather, and the sunny and the beaches, as well as favorable taxes. So there's a lot of a good mix that comes together here in Portugal. And myself, I've been here now 5 years living in Portugal. So I've kind of gotten the connections in place to also bring ICP here with and launching a lot of local initiatives. And
if you talk about in the Europe, Lisbon is popular city. I agree with you because in Indonesia too, ICP have a hub, disruptive, right? And I know it. I know that guy. I know Bruno on there, and they're based in the Bali because it's the most city in Indonesia and maybe in the Southeast Asia. So I think both Portugal, Indonesia can be growth, and a lot of good people like a developer can come to the hub. Like they want to know more about the ICP, right? And sometime the hub create the event, local event, so it will be help for adoption, education. And what's your current activity in the Portugal hub?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Yeah. What's your current activity in the Portugal hub? Do you have any event or do you have upcoming event for the Portugal hub?
Yeah. So at the moment, we have been supporting one boot camp that are building on ICP. So it's a 5 days. 5 days developer camp where local initiatives here in Lisbon where we take a person from a developer to actually deploying on the internet computer, ICP. So we are launching hackathons in the coming months. Now during next week is probably the largest European tech event in Europe called the Web Summit. It's almost like, I think last year was 70,000 people coming here. So next week we will be speaking at 4 different side events and some main panels as well. So we have a lot of different plans here right now during Web Summit, and then a little bit later during the year, also planning to do a combination of workshops where we educate both students and Web2 developers on how to be able to develop on the internet computer. So lots of different initiatives, and of course we are also open to new ideas from the local community, and are supporting different events here.
Okay, Tim, I saw on your Twitter page that you are speaking at the New Economics and talk about the future of ICP. So I want to know your perspective, your opinion about the future of ICP based on your talk at that event. Maybe you can share a bit in here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So some of the biggest things, I just want to start off with like myself. I see myself more as a storyteller and not so much of a developer. So on the technical side sometimes, but I think the main grand vision that we are building towards is we have recently gotten in Bitcoin on the ICP with CK-BTC, which means that you can basically transact with Bitcoin on the internet computer. And we are also working with currently getting in the Ethereum to also work on the internet computer. And that means that the canisters in the internet computer can speak directly with the nodes on the Bitcoin network. So there's a lot of those parts that are coming up. And then there's projects launching on the ICP, everything in the gaming, in SocialFi, which is kind of like these social networks that are launched in a fully decentralized way. And what you can see here is that during the crypto bear market, ICP has been building, and focusing on getting more developers involved, entrepreneurs, and different products to launch. So it's looking very good for what's up to come. And I think the key in the bear market is to build, and focus on how can we improve user experience to onboard, and those are the parts that we have been building on for the ICP.
Yeah, and talk about the bear market. Today I create some tweet about my opinion. It's my opinion about the chart of the ICP. If talk about the price at the moment, I think we are at the accumulation phase, and the bear market is soon to be end, I guess. Okay, and I hope because we can wait to see the ICP and two digits again, right? Everyone want it because everyone who work around this dip, I think they want the ICP come back to the two digit again. And talk about the development of the ICP. I want to know um, what's your roles. I mean, what's the ICP Hub role play? Okay, in the development of the ICP protocol in the Portugal.
So I fully agree with you that it has been. We are at the stage now for where the price has been fairly stable over quite some time. And what these hubs' mission is to grow the local communities.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what we are doing. Over some time, we're also going to support with incubating great projects that are launching and providing massive value. So the mission of the hubs is to basically grow out the ecosystem and further the ecosystem locally. And there's a lot of good projects out there that I've been speaking with that are also launching in Portugal. So of course we want to find here in Portugal the hidden gems, so to speak, that are launching on ICP, support them with marketing tips, product fit, so that they can actually attract users, and also support with finding investors to come in and support them, and then also on the developer side. So the local hubs has kind of the mission of connecting the dots and making sure that projects are launching here in Portugal that are bringing value to the ecosystem. So it goes into the plan of like how you build value is by having valuable projects launching on your chain.
Yeah, I'm agreed with you that hub is connecting the dots, because we can just let the dot or the people who are in every the small city maybe, or they don't know about the ICP. I think with the hub, it's make everyone can learn about the ICP, so everyone can participate in every event, like you doing the bootcamp, right? I think in your bootcamp, is there a reward for the winner or what?
And there will be certain rewards depending on what bootcamp it is. Okay. So it's something that we are working on to get into details. But we have bigger hackathons that are also planned with bounties and various types of rewards. But I think that this is kind of the key part here that we went into, that if you have a blockchain that has just a central company based in, let's say, London or based in San Francisco, that is controlling, or Dubai, that is controlling everything that is happening in the project, is that really a decentralized network? If there's one foundation that is controlling it, that's kind of like not the same thing as having local hubs where you can where you have a central organization that is supporting local initiatives that over time can become more like an embassy of the project that is there to further the vision. And I think that's how local hubs are having very effective impact. Like in Indonesia, I know that in Bali specifically, that having a hub there has enabled a lot of growth in the ecosystem, because you do it in a local way with people that are actually there and based there. So you can leverage the connections in different regions.
Yeah, in the Bali too, a lot of university have focus on the blockchain too, and I see the hub in the Bali cooperation with some university, and I think it's sounds good. And back to the topic, like a blockchain singularity, Tim, I want to know your from your perspective about. Can you explain the concept of blockchain singularity in simple term to our listener?
Yeah. So when you come into as a new person to the crypto space, there is Ethereum ERC20 tokens. There is Binance Smart Chain. There is Bitcoin Chain. There is 100 different chains, or probably thousands of different chains. You need different wallets. They cannot speak with each other. And then some of them are trying to bridge, which means that you take a token and wrap it on another chain, like wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. All of these different things makes the user experience very complex. Because like myself, I have 5 different wallets, one for one chain, one for another chain. MetaMask cannot use all chains, and then it's wrapped, and it's a very, very complex user experience. And then you have to store 5 private keys. Myself, I've lost many private keys with money on them. So how I see the blockchain singularity is where these dots are connected to each other, and where you can interact with on the internet computer, that you can interact with the Ethereum network, the Bitcoin network, and other networks in one. So you can kind of connect them without having a lot of the bridges. So you can connect it natively, and that removes part of the risk from like a custodian. Because, for example, you know that during the FTX situation, then they had wrapped a lot of Bitcoin on the Solana blockchain, and then all of the Bitcoin was locked in FTX. And then what happened then? All of the money is gone. So what the blockchain singularity means is that you can interact with all different ones in, let's say, in one ecosystem. Of course, it's a long time to get there, but I think that that's what we are striving towards, where you can bring it all together into one place instead of having 10 different chains in different places with different value propositions.
Yeah, I agree that a lot of chain, maybe 100, right? Like in my Google Chrome, I install many wallets, and sometimes I forget the password because a lot of wallet, right? So I think it's too complex for especially for new user like newcomers, or they just know about the crypto. So that's why I think this is still the problem for the new user, like user experience. So back to the topic, I want to know the regulation of the blockchain and crypto on the Portugal. I want to know how's there.
So the regulation for crypto in Portugal has been early on. It was largely tax-free for private individuals that were, for example, trading crypto, because it fell under the lottery, I think, laws. Right now they are changing it a bit. And then on the higher level, it will be, of course, go under the EU scope. So under the EU regulation that will be rolled out. But as a company, for myself, we have been operating here in Portugal now as a company 4 years, and we manage crypto, fiat payments, and a combination of both. And what the key is to find the banks and the accounting and lawyer parties that are native in Portugal that can support you with those parts. And I think that that's always what you have to do, because it is a new accounting principles that you need to involve, and you need to find the right people wherever you are. But overall, I've had a very good experience here in Portugal with both running a company and engaging with crypto. Even with the banks has been good. So I think that Portugal has been a very, very strong party in the crypto space, especially for projects that are launching here, and some of the biggest banks also opened up offices here in crypto banks. So
this space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Let's say within Europe, I think it has been one of the most friendly countries, and now we see over in the UK, they're making some big moves on how they want to regulate crypto, which is pushing out Binance, Bybit. A lot of the big exchanges says we are not accepting any new UK clients. So I think that Portugal has definitely been one of the stronger parts here in Europe that have been very favorable of crypto.
And it's in the Portugal have local exchange, like in Indonesia, many of local exchange coming. So beside the big name like Binance, Bybit, we have a local exchange. So it's like fiat on ramp. Like it's easy to buy using the local fiat. How about in the Portugal? It's only Binance, or in the Portugal have local checks that's under regulation of the government?
Yeah, we have had a few smaller ones coming in, try to launch. And then we have some bigger ones from Spain, so the neighbor country. So we have had a few smaller ones, but I think that the biggest ones have actually been from Spain that are coming over here. So there is like not, I would say like a one that is the main one here. It's more from Spain and the Spanish market that have basically made a Portuguese version and are opening up an office here and do a local approach.
Okay, so that's a condition under Portugal, because in Indonesia, if I'm not wrong, a couple of years ago, Binance is banned from here. Like they try to have on RAM, and then the government thought ban that way. So that's why they create the local checks. Maybe they want to support the local checks, and I think it's good because at the moment Bali is called like a city of the crypto in Indonesia, because a lot of crypto players are there, like a project. And I heard some of company in the crypto side but their office at the Bali, because they see the future of the rise of user of crypto base in Indonesia. So I think the future of the Web3 blockchain and the crypto, it will be very good. And I want to know your perspective about the upcoming the Web3, and how do you believe that ICP will be play in this shaping this future?
Yeah, it's a good question. So what we have seen with Web3 is that the price has not been reflecting the activity. Because you see, for example, that on most blockchains, there's been either like a lot of the activity has moved to layer 2s, but also the amount of active daily users. A lot of these numbers has been very good throughout all of the bear market, when people are finding more and more use cases. You see right now that the biggest countries that are driving the adoption are countries that have hyperinflation or very strong inflation, and then the main value proposition has been driven by stable coins. You can see in Turkey, in Argentina, in Brazil, in a lot of other countries where they have like 30% inflation, 40, then they're just like rushing to buy USD stable coins. So I think that that's one part that definitely is going to grow, whether people like it or not. I know in the US right now they are going after PayPal for launching their own stablecoin. So definitely that part when it comes to the finance, because then they are adding different layers on the DeFi on top of the stablecoins. On the gaming front, I think that's kind of where we see a lot of adoption right now. ICP as well. There's multiple projects that are launching on ICP, where the NFTs are fully on chain, and where there is different gaming products that are launching on ICP, which I definitely see as one of the biggest areas that are going to grow over the coming year or two on the gaming front. Then there's also the part when it comes to like the social fi, which is a little bit more niche because it's very hard to implement, but it's definitely something that is growing. And maybe one other part as well is where more and more people are connecting real world assets with digital representations of it. It can be anybody that are like pawning their own watches and then issuing an NFT as the digital ownership of it. And those parts as well, like where you are, maybe you have a property and then you issue NFTs that are representing shares for it. And then you sell it on the blockchain, you airdrop the profit to the holders. And that's definitely something that myself, I see a lot of the projects that are working to implement it, where it can bring a lot of real traditional assets onto the blockchain. And it's easier to distribute profit. It's easier to have liquidity to markets that would normally be very illiquid.
Okay, and I'm interested, Tim. I'm looking to your tweet, and you created a tweet about the OpenSea, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I want to talk to you about this. Like, you say that OpenSea or MTC because they left 50% of their employee. So how
Yeah.
I see that a lot of not good in the OpenSea because I don't know what happened on there. So I want to know about this from you about the failing because the business model and anything. Maybe you can share the story.
No. So when you have been in crypto for quite some time, you understand that there's a lot of good business models and there's a lot of bad business models out there. And I think generally what so many companies understood was that it's a bad business model if you fully rely on royalties, trading fees, or royalty, trading fees, or trading tax and these different parts. Because what you see when the price goes down, it's that the volume will go down even further. So let's say like this. OpenSea, at the peak of the market, when there was the most transactions per day, people went completely crazy. They cashed in 2.5% on all the fees. They had revenue of, I think it was billions or hundreds of millions in revenue. And that's when they raised funds. What happened then for the marketplace was that there came in a competitor called Blur. And Blur overnight kind of screwed up their whole business model. And that was because Blur could offer half the fees and then they paid back the other part of the fees in half the fees or lower because they paid back that amount in their native token. Same as what LuxRare did. So I think what OpenSea did wrong was that they operated more as a traditional business when they should have been more like an Web3 native business that would be run by tokenomics, because if you had tokenomics built into it. And I think that why they did not do that was because they were very scared of the SEC to go after them. So what they did as their kind of Hail Mary was to launch like, was it called OpenSea Pro or something, where they sent out a lot of NFTs, but it kind of fell flat. And of course, right now they are basically has collapsed in the market, and they don't have a very strong standing with the crypto community either.
Yeah. I'm agree that if the NFT market goes down, the volume goes down, and their business will not good because it's depend on the condition of like it's hype or the NFT is hype, and at the moment NFT market is not too good, right?
Yeah, and then I think they also had some people got a little bit angry at them because there were some insiders there that were buying NFTs before they were listed on the homepage.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of different drama that happened there. And then they were a little bit too slow with reacting because they hired too many people. I think they first fired 50% and now I think they fired another 50%. And what you see then is, and they also a little bit, they kind of went in 50-50 on this part with creator royalty. Because early on they were like, yeah, we're going to enforce royalty for the creator, and then they kind of back down. And what you see now is that I think it's Bored Ape Yacht Club are launching a new marketplace together with Magic Eden that will fully enforce creator royalty. So it's a lot of different things that are happening, and of course, like when you have a business that relies on like being a middleman, then technology will improve and can take down the fees over time. So very, very hard competition as well.
Yeah, so in this industry, we can just in the safe zone, right? So we need to keep an eye in the competitor. We need to always up to date and always follow the trend. Like if the business model needs to be improved, it should be, because if not, I think it will be happen like OpenSea. A lot of employee cut off. I'm so sad to hear about that, because OpenSea is a big name, right? So I don't know again how about this.
Yeah, it's a very hard challenge to first of all be in crypto. Myself, I've been also running a team, and when things are good, it's very easy to hire and think that it will always continue upwards, while you probably should think more of how can you protect the business and how can you make sure that you can weather any storm. I think right now what they probably have to do is that they have to cut down on cost and then come up with some new idea, probably related to a token that they would have to, but it would also be a very hard time, because the question is like, how many mistakes can a company do before they go bankrupt? And I think that that's where a lot of these companies will be.
Okay. I think it's a good word from you. It's a good word from you, Tim. And let's take to the my question to you, that I want to know your lead in the ICP Hub at the moment. Let's talk about the ICP Hub again, and we're done about the OpenSea. Okay. I want to know your perspective and your strategy, how you implement to expedite the adoption of the blockchain and cryptocurrency in the Portugal. Do you think a host or event will be a good strategy to attract more people, attract new people, like create an event or going to campus, or maybe work with the public figure like an artist? How about you?
Yeah. So to build up a company, you need to basically reach different audience at different places with different messages. What do I mean with that? So what we have done early on is that we started collaborating with some of the leading news sites here in Portugal, the Portugal News, Portugal Residence, Portugal Pulse. So we start with that part, because that is when anybody searches on Google for ICP, Web3 developers, then we take that part where we make sure that on all of the most important searches on Google that we appear at the top. Afterwards, on social media or X, we have a good network of key opinion leaders in Portugal that we are supporting, and so some of them we're giving out grants to in order to create educational content and to accelerate the adoption overall. So if we take the digital, the articles and the PR that we get up in media, we combine that with on X. We collaborate with key opinion leaders that are creating educational content. Combined with that, we are creating our own content and actively reaching out on X and on LinkedIn to the key people in the region that we would like to connect with and partner with. When we take all of these digital activities, we combine that with being very, very active and present in all local events, local meetups, local hubs, Twitter spaces, and basically everything that is going on here locally. That way you can very effectively, like, if you do it right and if you actually provide value on all parts, and then you help projects grow, and then that way you can establish a local hub in a certain region. And that's what we are doing here. The hub launched about a month and a half ago, so we are still very early on this journey, but have already achieved a lot here and gotten in contact with the right people and the right parts of the ecosystem that we are looking to collaborate with and reach.
Okay. Thank you, Tim, for the tips from your perspective for my question, because I think it's very important for the person or community or maybe company that want to reach local audience or region. So I think we need to decide different method, right, based on the audience. And before I end this space, I want to know, as you're the leader of the hub in the Portugal, I want to know and hear what's your target for the ICP Hub Portugal for the rest of this year.
Yeah, so for the rest of this year, we are now going to be at 4 different events during the Web Summit, where we will be meeting hundreds and hundreds of people. We are planning a larger hackathon to happen either towards the end of the year or early next year, where we want to get in great projects with good ideas that are suitable for launching on the internet computer, and to bring them in under the wings of the hub and make sure that they can go successfully to market with fundraising or building a product that people value and that brings value to the ecosystem. So that's our plan, and of course we are going to do that via being very active on Twitter or X, LinkedIn, in traditional media, and to host these types of boot camps and workshops. Quite a lot of workshops are coming up also in November and December. I think in total we're going to host closer to 10 workshops, which is like a 2-hour workshop where we go to a specific location and hold a talk about ICP. So tons of plans here, and anybody here that is in Portugal and have some ideas of how we can grow and expand the internet computer reach in Portugal, feel free to send a DM, and I'm happy to explore how we can collaborate or how we could support you with your initiatives.
Okay, thank you, Tim. I hope your target will be active all and success for your plan for the rest of this year. And I know you will be doing great. I know your portfolio. I think you will make the hub in the Portugal a success. And last but not least, do you have any requirement for people who want to be any change to be your team in the hub in the Portugal? Maybe one of our audience interested, like how to be one of the team in the hub.
Yeah, absolutely. So it would be people that are based in Portugal. What I often would like to see is applicants recording a short 1 to 2 minutes video explaining how they can bring value to the ICP Hub. So if you want to apply, then feel free to send me a DM or directly send a video here on X, and I will happily have a look at it to see if it can be a good fit and if there's something that we could do or build together.
Okay. Thank you for that. Maybe someone will be try to be team in a hub in the Portugal. And I know you've been busy. Today is Monday, so thank you for your time, Tim, for coming to our space to be our guest. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, and especially on the days like this when you have seen an increase in the growth in the market, and it looks like ICP might be breaking out of the trading range, and very exciting times to be in this ecosystem and in this market right now. When it's I think over the last month it's up quite drastically. So very exciting times to be in ICP and in crypto in general.
Okay, I hope so. It will be break out the trading rates that I draw. Soon will be 2 digits, so everyone will be happy.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much for having me. Looking forward for.
My pleasure, Tim. Okay.
Yeah, have a good
day. Bye bye.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today. 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 Download your spaces